when we talked about what is the vision and national service, I think it does not begin or should not begin at the high school level. I think it needs to go to the primary school level.
Leveraging and launching our creative industries in the country.
That's gotten mixed reviews.
Well, I think what got mixed reviews is not the concept, but the labeling.
What we do today will affect those coming after us.
Bcpou heads declare war on BTC again.
We're going to strip ourselves because we got war going on.
We'll tell you why. Repairs to the airport road begin. The government aggressively dealing with the Cuban detainee issue that has attracted international attention, plus food prices could increase. We'll tell you why. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Nakia DeVoe, and this is NV12. Thanks for joining us here at Cable 12 Studios. Executives of the Bahamas Communications and Public Officers Union are bracing for possible downsizing at the Bahamas Telecommunications Company. That according to Bcpou President Bernard Evans, who told members today they will be ready to go to war. Christina McNeil has more in this report.
We're going to close our doors and we can close our shop today. We're going to strip ourselves because we got war going on.
That's the message Evans sent while addressing hundreds of Bcpou members gathered at the union's annual convention. Evans says he understands that next year, Cable and Wireless Communications plans to reduce staff to about 600. That, he says, is one of the main concerns of workers at BTC.
The pressing issues definitely is a continuing downsizing of BTC. The track record is proven in the region with Cable and Wireless that apparently this is their mandate to continue to reduce staff, maybe even outsourcing a lot of divisions as they've done in Jamaica recently. In April, they outsourced the entire outside plant, displacing 305 workers. And so we can't let that happen here in the Bahamas, and certainly we're not going to sit idly by and let it happen.
Evans says CWC executives are out to increase profits, but it may be done at the expense of hardworking Bahamians in the country. However, he tells MB12 his union is not afraid of downsizing.
So we're not afraid, all right? They have gone to the government apparently to talk about this downsizing exercise that they may want to embark on. We know that since the initial downsizing, since they took over 400 persons was already sent home. The remaining staff are already stretched to their limits, really. Everybody's doing 2- and 3-man jobs, additional responsibility that rests on their shoulders.
Evans says BTC's current staff is already stretched thin following the downsizing that took place shortly after the majority stake in the company was sold to CWC in 2011.
Well, the Bahamas Telecommunications Company is denying it is planning mass layoffs, according to a statement issued late this afternoon. BTC says no such layoffs are presently even being contemplated. Instead, the company says it continues to restructure to meet the demands of customers and to increase efficiency. In other news, the Bahamas is receiving international attention over the alleged mistreatment of Cuban detainees at the Carmichael Road Detention Center. But Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell says the country will not be blackmailed by Cuban protesters trying to tarnish its reputation. Mitchell claims the government is pushing to have the issue resolved in a matter of days.
In this particular matter, as discomforting as it is, and I'm certain it's only going to be for a short period of time, we simply have to stiffen our resolve in the face of the criticism. You know, you're not going to always be popular, but some things you just have to do for your country.
Cuban Americans continue their protests and hunger strikes against the Bahamas, sparked by a video purporting to show Cuban detainees at the detention center being abused by Bahamian law enforcement. Although it was dismissed as fraud by local officials, the video, released by an international TV station, continues to infuriate Cubans around the world, and demonstrations have reached as far as Italy.
in front of the Bahamian honorary consulate in Rome. But when complaints were made to the police about the signs saying boycott the Bahamas, the signs were taken down.
Now, Mitchell does not suggest government officials meet with protesters whose anger, he says, is misdirected. We're told that the Ministry of Tourism is making efforts to de-escalate the issue by contacting high-level Bahamians in Miami to speak with the Cuban American community and reaching out to Cuban American investors in the Bahamas.
We're not going to be blackmailed. We do not abuse detainees. If there are specific reports of it, they will be investigated and the chips will fall where they may. But in the meantime, we consider ourselves to be a great country, a good place to visit, and that there is no danger to any tourist who is coming here as a result of any of this.
Mitchell said his ministry is working to address the underlying issue and will meet with the Cuban government soon to reopen migration talks. 10 Cubans have requested to go back to Cuba. Some have claimed political asylum, and others will be sent to a third country.
We would expect within 14 days or so, most of those people will have returned home. But anybody who is subject to this particular status or claim can't be sent home, and particularly if we're looking for a third country. So I think some are going to be interviewed by a third country within a couple of days. And then we'll determine whether that third country will accept them, and then they'll be on their way as well.
We're also told that some of the Cuban detainees were moved to Her Majesty's prisons. Well, here's some good news. Weeks after someone damaged nearly 2 miles of the Airport Gateway project, repair work on the multi-million-dollar highway on New Providence is underway. Our Candida Dames has more in this report.
As we've been reporting, the damage done is estimated at about $1.5 million. It has set this project back by at least a month. Now officials are working to catch up. A team has been fully mobilized with the hopes of doing just that.
The 1.7 miles of roadway was ripped up earlier this month, officials say, by someone who stole a tractor left at the site. Officials moved quickly to address the situation. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Works, Colin Higgs, says repair costs are being addressed through the contractor's insurance company.
Insurance adjusters have been on site and done their site investigations, and they've given clearance for the contractor to go back on site to begin the repairs, and while they process the claim.
I know a lot of people had concerns about this and the cost to taxpayers. So you're saying that it's going to be covered by insurance money?
Well, the contractor has insurance for this type of incident, but it depends on the insurance company. They have to process the claim and determine what they're going to pay.
Higgs says officials recognize that there is a need to improve security on the project to prevent any further damage to the road.
I'm sure they'll step up their security and ensure that things are locked down and take more precautions to ensure that something like this doesn't happen again. The road is getting there, close to completion. It was scheduled for completion at the end of August this year. And of course, this incident will delay it for at least another month. So we hope to have everything substantially complete by September.
53-year-old Thomas Alexander Rigby was charged last week with causing damage to this road. Rigby denied the allegation at his arraignment and was denied bail in the public interest. The total cost of the Airport Gateway project is $72 million.
For now, just one side of this busy multi-million-dollar highway remains opened. Officials are hopeful that there will be no further delays. Reporting for NB12, I'm Candida Dames.
Up next, a story that affects everyone. The cost of food could increase in the near future.
Well, there's no doubt about it, food prices are going to have to go up because it's just you can't absorb that much additional expense.
Stay tuned to NB12 to find out why.